Hi again. We meet again. Come here often. So, I didn't record for a couple days. There was some discord amongst family members, which I totally expected, and that is to be expected in these situations when tensions are high and emotions are all over the place. But I did want to make sure that I got that processed and out of my system before recording anything. So I'm back. I did make it to work on Saturday, and a couple things I want to mention about that was on my way to work, I was walking, and there was this circle of birds. I don't know, maybe 12, 14 birds. It's hard to tell because they seem to multiply. They would pick up other birds as they were circling around my head, like I start flying one direction and they fly the other direction. It was really cool, and that made me think of, my mother watching out for me. And lately there's been Irish songs on my radio station. It's just Apple Music. I turn on Natalie's station, and it's supposed to be, some random stuff, but there's been a lot of Irish songs lately from bands I didn't even know existed. I do like Irish music. I listen to a lot of Flogging Molly or Dropkick Murphys. Some random Irish drinking songs. No, not much of a drinker these days, but I thought that was really cool. We are Irish, and she's proud of her Irish heritage. So it's funny how I feel more supported. But I feel like she's all around me, and so I need to make sure I'm on my best behavior because because she can see everything that I do now. She's always there. But so that was cool. And then Saturday, it was not too busy, and so I did get cut early, and so I was able to leave. So I didn't really work a full day, which I'm good. I'm fine with. Sunday I went. It was a little bit busier, and I was grateful for that as well as it not too busy. So then when it came time to cut people from the floor, so to speak, my boss asked me, hey, did you want to stay or do you want to go? And I imagine probably somebody in my position who had to take some time off work or whatnot, might have been desperate for money or hours or something. And I told him, I said, I could go. And he was like, really? I don't think he expected that answer, but I told him, I said, yeah, I said, I don't need to put any extra undue strain on myself right now. I should take it easy. He's like, yeah, he did finally agree, but I don't think many people come from that perspective in my position. I guess not, but luckily earlier in the year, I found out that I have high levels of mercury and aluminum in my system. So I've been trying to detox and really take care of myself, and I'm taking my supplements and working out and eating my protein and whatnot. I've also been doing, a lot of fasting as much as I can. I haven't made it past 3 days yet, which, I thought I was doing everything right. I'm vegan, and, I work out and I try to take care of my mental health and stuff. But, finding all this out, I found, even more ways that I can take care of myself, and I can, love on myself, and self-care took a whole new went to a whole new level when I found that out. So this is just one more way I can be nice to myself. So in not recording in 2 days, I had another argument with myself about even coming on tonight. Is why nobody I mean, I dyed my eyebrows earlier, and I don't really even care. They're probably too much, and probably should be more concerned with my physical appearance at this time, but I'm just not. Really not. The eyebrows stay, it's fine. But ultimately, what won the fight this time was the argument of this is, something I'm leaving to my future self, in the event. Well, I mean, not in the event, but the next dark night of the soul, this is going to be, a reference point. I'm sure it's not going to be the last one, because it certainly was not the first one. So this is going to be, a chance to see where I really shined, and and then also where I can improve in areas. So I'd like to give a shout out to my future self. Yeah, anyway, so that's one thought I had. Other than that, not too much. It gets easier every day. I mean, not to say that it's easy, but it is easier every day. And like I said, the fact that I feel supported by her around me, I feel like she's everywhere. But then I also have this overwhelming sense of kind of, you know, like a freedom. Not that I want this freedom, mind you, but I feel like my mother not being here, you know, she was the last person that I really cared to impress. She was the last person that I wanted to make proud. You know, anybody else, I really feel like they love me unconditionally. They know how I am. They know I'm a weirdo, and they're fine with it. The ones who know me and truly love me, and not to say my mother didn't love me. My mother was one of my biggest supporters, absolutely. But without, you know, worrying about disappointing her, you know, I'm free to be even more authentic, you know, and embodied, and I can kind of be freed from some of the conditioning, you know. And it is tough, and I wonder if anybody else has these kind of thoughts, but maybe they're not even my thoughts. Maybe they're just fleeting. Maybe I shouldn't pay too much attention to them. But the fact that I'm so highly present and I'm so self-aware these days, it makes it really, really hard to sit and have a surface level conversation with anyone. You know, all this stuff is going through my head while I'm trying to serve pancakes. It's I don't even know how to describe it. But so who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Who do I care to be? Like, and I do still want to make my mother proud, but at the same time, I know she was proud of me. I know that she loves me unconditionally, and she knows that I loved her unconditionally, and she knew how I felt. And so, you know, at least I don't have those thoughts swimming around in my mind. I don't have any regrets. I know that she did the best that she could, and I know that I did the best that I could. And I'm happy with that. I'm at peace with that. I miss her. I miss her terribly. I'd give anything to have her back. But since I can't change that, like, what am I gonna do with this newfound authenticity, this newfound you know, I don't gotta be anyway. I don't have to be anyway. I get to decide who I want to be, you know? So I want to do this right. I want to do this right. I want to be the best that I can be, you know? I want to do my best. Absolutely. So that's what I'm doing. There was some customers I had Saturday. Really, really just absolutely made my day. Again, with the connection, right? Because that's the only thing that matters. That's what I'm going with these days. So they walked in, and there's a Christmas tree right there by the entrance, and there's one of those claw toy machines right next to it. So you couldn't see me. I was back behind there. I was folding some kid menus or whatever, and there's, you know, hidden, but I was singing, and the guy leans around the corner, and he's talking in a UK accent. It was so awesome. I love accents. And he says, "Are you talking to me then?" I can't do it, but maybe that's why I love it so much. But I said, "I'm sorry." He completely caught me off guard. And he said, "Are you talking to me then?" And I said, "Oh, no. I was probably just singing." And he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Well, you know, I heard talking. I thought it is," and I looked and I saw the Christmas tree. It's like, I thought the Christmas tree was talking to me. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny." Oh my God, I could just imagine what you were thinking. You're like, "Oh my God, like, what's it?" And his wife was there. She's so cute and laughing, and she's like, "Oh, okay." It was so awesome. And he exchanged the whole entire exchange. Well, lo and behold, it was my turn, and they actually were my table. So I took him, got him sad, and I talked to him, and I was like, "Where are you from?" You know, and like, "Oh, you're here at the perfect time. You know, it's not too hot anymore, blah, blah." You know, just, you know, I asked them, "Are you here for long?" And they, you know, a lot of what they said I didn't understand, but their body language, you know, they were just so sweet. They were the sweetest. They're like, oh, it's so dark and gray in the UK, and it's nice to see sunshine. And so I think they had a really good time there. And then so, yeah, anyway, so I have these little stickers that, you know, I get. It's a subscription, and they're really awesome. They're just little silver, and it says, "You are beautiful." And I feel blessed to work by the airport because I get to see a lot of people as they're, you know, transferring flights, or they're trying to get back home, or, you know, and so I meet a lot of people, and it's, you know, it's a one-time exchange, absolutely, but we do get a lot of people from, you know, different countries and stuff, so I feel like I get to experience a little bit of that with them. And, you know, they're, oh, it's such a long flight, and so the guy must have had, you know, like 5 cups of coffee. Good for him, you know. Like, it's definitely a long flight. But so I handed them these stickers, you know, both of them, and they took them, you know, so I feel confident that, you know, my "You Are Beautiful" stickers, well, they're not mine, they're printed by somebody else, I just ordered them, but that they're making those to the UK. I know I have some in Australia as well, and I'm pretty excited about that. I wonder if I have one handy I can show you. But they're really beautiful, but I have to be very particular because I only get 30 a month. That's really not very much when I just want to hand them out to everybody, you know. And here they are. Show and tell time again. You are beautiful. So that's pretty awesome. I was also reminded, you know, with all the Irish music and stuff, I was reminded of this experience that I had with my mother. And she would always say, "You can't let me die a Parker. Don't let me die a Parker," which was her last name from when she married my stepfather, who was not a nice man. So I mean, her pleas were absolutely, you know, justified. "You can't let me die a Parker. Don't let me die a Parker." And so she hadn't seen the man. I guess it was like 15 years or something. They didn't, you know, part, you know, on civil terms, or it was nothing like that. He kind of left her abandoned. And anyway, so years and years and years, and she wants to file for divorce. So we, you know, go through all the motions, but because she hadn't seen him in so long and she had absolutely no idea where he might be or if he was even still alive, what you have to do is you have to run an ad in the local newspaper of, you know, the last place that you might know them to be. And so, and you have to let it run for, you know, a specific amount of time. It's to show that you did try to reach out, and, you know, so that he can contest the divorce essentially if he wants to. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, nothing ever, those were absolutely fruitless. So, you know, to our advantage. So when we finally, you know, got all the paperwork done and all the red tape and everything, and it's finally our day in court, and we go into the court, and, you know, it's a divorce court, and people are talking about custody proceedings and parenting plans and child support and blah 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 blah. And it's really, you know, not a real happy environment, I would say. At least not for a lot of people, but the kind of person that my mother was, she totally transformed that courtroom. So she gets up in front of the judge, and the judge asks her, "When was the last time you saw Mr. Parker?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know, about 15 years ago." Well, it might have been more. She's just like completely kind of not aloof about it, but she's trying to make it humorous. And I was so proud of her. You know, she's not one to get up and stand up for herself and stuff, but she's kind of, you know, she's nervous, and she's, I don't know, it could be more, I don't know. And then so the judge granted the divorce, and he told her, you know, "I hereby restore you to Mrs. McCartney." And okay, so that when she was doing the 15 years, or, you know, everybody in the courtroom was kind of laughing. They're kind of chuckling. You know, she really lightened up the mood there. And then so when the judge says, "I hereby restore you to Ms. McCartney," she turned back at me, and she looked at me, and she was just smiling, happy. She did a little happy dance, and I cried. cried. It was so beautiful, and everybody in the courtroom either yayed or laughed, or, you know, they were all so very supportive. That was a really cool day. That was a really cool experience with my mother, and that's not something I want to soon forget, so that's why I'm including in this in here. It really doesn't have anything to do with anything, but really nothing to do these days has anything to do with anything. So yeah, it's all just about, you know, one day at a time, right? One day at a time. One da da da. I think that was the theme song for another show a long time ago. I'm probably dating myself. Yeah, here I am dating myself and my funky eyebrows. It's okay, because I'll scrub my face really good in the morning before I go to work. So, but they're telling me that someone from corporate is supposed to be there tomorrow, and we're going to be quizzed on our portions and you know, this and that, and make sure I'm in uniform, and you know, no, I probably should be more worried about it, but I'm just not. I'm just not. If they find I need more training on something, so be it. So be it. However, I don't know. I'm not going to take it too seriously. I don't really have the bandwidth to worry about too much right now. Although I am getting better, right? One day at a time. One day at a time. So, well, I mean, I guess, you know, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for reaching out if you feel called to do so. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for being part of our human collective. I believe something big is coming. Something big is coming, and this is a very exciting time to be alive. And I am happy to be here with all of you. So again, thanks for playing. I'll see you tomorrow.